And now, News Channel 10's 24/7 local weather first alert forecast, sponsored by Generator Supercenter of Amarillo.
Well, good Wednesday morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Shelden checking in with what's going to be another warm day out there as we're starting out this morning down in the 40s for most of the region. We're going to be warming up quite a bit through the daytime hours today as we should be getting up into the 70s by lunchtime today. We're going to talk more about just how this contrasts to our normal highs for this time of year here in just a little bit. But there's 70 by lunchtime, and then by about 3 o'clock this afternoon, there's your daytime highs. Look at that. Low 80s for a lot of the air. You got 82 in Clarendon and Pampa, 83 down in Childress, 81 here in Amarillo, maybe 70s at their coolest in other parts of the area. Dropping, of course, low 70s by 6 o'clock this evening, and then going into this evening in the overnight period, dropping back down into the mid to upper 40s. Let's take a look at some records that could be broken or at least matched today. Today's record is set back in 1996 for February 21st for a high of 81 degrees. Today's forecasted high here in Amarillo, 81 degrees. And to contrast that, like I said, our normal high for this time of year is 57 degrees. So we are coming in way above that mark here as we go throughout this afternoon. So it's going to be pretty toasty out there. And unfortunately, it's going to be pretty windy as well, as we are tracking some pretty windy and blustery conditions across much of the region, especially off towards the west. So looking at your wind gust forecast showing where those winds will be at their strongest today, what you're going to be seeing as you go into the midday hours, look at that, 4 o'clock this afternoon. Very strong winds, mainly off in New Mexico, coming off the mountains there, but you will notice those southwesterly winds do get funneled into our area. We see some of those high winds as well. And then going into Thursday morning, still maybe some high gusts, but we changed the direction those winds are coming out of. That will be important later. But let's talk about your wind forecast right now. What we're going to be seeing out there is those winds picking up 10 to 15 miles an hour. So thankfully this morning, they're not really too bad. You'll see right there, 5 to 15 miles an hour. But then we really crank things up, looking at wind speeds sustained upwards around 30 miles an hour off in our eastern New Mexico counties here in Amarillo, 15 to 25. Getting calmer the further northeast that you are, but still might see those wind speeds gust upwards of 20 miles an hour in the far northeast. Off towards the west, gusts around 40, maybe even 50 miles an hour at times. Winds drop down into the teens by this evening and tonight, but then you see right there, those winds turn out of the north going into your Thursday morning, about 15 to 25 miles an hour there as well, so a little bit blustery there. Winds will eventually calm down later on Thursday, but Thursday morning certainly looking to be a little bit blustery. Now, unfortunately, with those southwesterly winds will come some drier air. As you'll see our relative humidity map, we get bone dry going into this afternoon. By 4 o'clock, you're looking at 7 to 9% down off towards the southwest, 8% here in Amarillo. Thankfully, those values do bounce back as we go on into the evening hours, but this afternoon, fire danger is certainly going to be a big concern. So looking at our watches and warnings for your Wednesday, all those counties there in pink, you will notice it stops kind of at the Texas state line until you move down closer to the El Paso, Midland area down off towards the south, but that's a red flag warning. That is for that critical fire danger. That gold you see right there in Chavez County in New Mexico, that is for wind gusts even stronger, about 60 miles an hour there off the mountains. Here in the Texas Panhandle region, we have just a red flag warning for our eastern New Mexico counties. That's in effect until 7 o'clock New Mexico time. So unfortunately, we are tracking those critical fire conditions, so make sure to stay safe. Don't be doing anything that will cause the possibility for any wildfires to start. Now, like I said, those winds shift out of the north. Going into your Thursday, we're going to go from 81 today to 61 tomorrow. That's about a 20-degree drop, but temperatures, as we just saw, our normal high this time of year is 57. We're still going to come in just above that number going into your Thursday. So looking at your 7-day supercast, 81 today, 61 tomorrow, 62 for your Friday. Look at that, temperatures bounce right back up into the mid to high 70s. Unfortunately, the winds come right along with it, as we'll see mostly cloudy skies later on next week, but you'll see those winds pick up out of the west-southwest at 20 to 30 miles an hour yet again, and unfortunately, no discernible moisture chances on the horizon, at least for right now.